Boop, boop. Come on, chat. Yeah, okay, it's loading. Okay. Hi. Everything's set up. Okay, I think we're good. Hi. Welcome back. Yeah. So it's bit of a fun week last week. Hi, everyone. Hey, Meg, Marcus, Lewis, Python, everyone. See ya, Marcus. Alright. Jamie, Twilight. There you all are. Alright. Can you hear me? I can't tell. Okay. Let's see. Just stalling a little bit to make sure we're all mellow yellow. Yeah, cool. Okay. Just want to make sure technology works and then I can perform. Let's see. So, you're probably here because the title is Derpy's Daily Life Making of. So, this will be all around how I made that animation. So I'll go through the whole file and talk about inspirations, technical aspects, and other stuff. So I encourage you probably now, before we get too deep into it, to I think in the description or on my main channel, I got the link to the animation. Hope I got it. Yeah, please watch the visual animation here. It's in the description, so. Hey, Python, yes, Derpy is best bunny. But now she's also best anime schoolgirl, so. Yeah. Yeah, so if you haven't seen the, what I'm gonna go through, it's probably not gonna make as much sense, so. And if you're watching this later, then you can probably pause it now. And then go watch that, so. Either way, can't tell because it's live to know if you're gonna actually go to that and then watch it. Yeah, some people left. Okay. Yeah. So, wonder where I should start first. What would you say? Probably, yeah. Did I say it wrong? Okay. Can I call you P-Horn? Is that better? Oh, sorry. Is this box here? It's gonna pop up a bunch. This black box. Just saying. It randomly shows up whenever it wants. I don't know. I updated my driver, my tablet driver, and sometimes this black box appears. So don't freak out. It's not an error. It's my little toolbox that I can. It has brush A and erase tools all in there. So that's something. Okay. Enough dollars. Let's see. So this all started with the idea and the script, so get a little visual representation of this. That's funny. So I started with the idea around, well, must have been after I made the Christmas story. What was it? I forgot what it's called. Because I changed it. I usually make the titles last, actually. So I forgot what my last video of Christmas was. Something about a Christmas story. No, the other one is a Wonderful Life. Yep. Check in, make sure I'm not crazy. Oh, it's a Derpy Life. Okay. Yeah, so I made that. And then I was like, I'm gonna take like a, like a month break or something from, the main channel to work on these other projects that I've been showing in the live stream. So that's just a little, win-win that I was able to work on more projects and have videos on my main channel, So, oh yeah, she spoke in the camp one, whatever that was one. Oh, in the movie too. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, here's that box again. Everything sporadic. Let's calm down. It's just water. Oh, it's saving it. I was gonna zoom in so you can probably read it. So I did a Christmas one, and then I watched a bunch of anime. Let's see. Oh, okay. That's okay, sorry. I don't know how long this will run. Probably just, you know, go through it all, so it might not even be 35 minutes long. So I don't know. It depends on how many people are gonna keep asking me questions, so yeah. Let's see. So here's the script. You can probably almost read it at this point. And you might recognize this, a couple of you, because you guys in stream helped me write this a little bit. I think I just had a very basic thing, and then I added these dashes and added your ideas. Fortunately, I couldn't get all of them, but they were good starting points for me. Yeah, so the main inspiration was just, you know, I'm also really liking anime a lot. Watched a lot of Crunchyroll stuff, so a lot of stuff there. I think I've shown my what do you call it, a queue on stream. So, and another stream, I forgot which one that was, so I'm sorry. You have to look through those, scan through all those. Hey, Dashy Pie, how you doing? Yeah, so this is the script we wrote together. Like a little patent horn, is that right? And watermelon. Okay. So this script, here's that box. Yeah, so definitely wanted asterisk this to be high school girl. Actually, my original inspiration, well, idea for this was to have her a pony, and then just make it have the pony look more anime style ish, and then I made it like a really rough storyboard, which then kind of translated into the human style too. But it's over there now, and I don't want to get it. Yeah, so I just wanted to make a fun. Ooh, you got your name right. I did. Yeah. Gotti. What was this? Gotta get so distracted with you guys. So this is the script. Let's see, I've lost my train of thought. I lose my train of thought a lot when I do this stuff. Because usually I have a script, and if I lose a point, then it's just all downhill. That's the... Hey, Dashy, you like my videos. See, this is what happens. It's like, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Oh, look, I see the script here. So I wrote that a little bit, like about halfway. Then you guys helped me with that. Get the other half. Yeah. I think it's about as much as we need to talk about that with the script. And I wrote the script originally to be pony again, but somewhere along the line I thought it'd be, I guess, easier in some ways and to differentiate itself, and I couldn't quite figure out how to make, that's a keyboard, to make it look quite right as a pony. So let's go back. Here's a bunch of derpies. What do I got here? So then I played around with start making assets to test to see if this even will work. Let's see. I think this was one of the originals. Let's see, just going through it all. That's the redesign. So I got a lot here. Never finished the profile view. There's that. I should really label these. This looks more like the original style that we started with. This was like original Aggressor Girl style here. Get away. The main difference is the outline is much thinner. Like I made it like 1 or 2 points thick line. The eyes are very different than compared to original Aggressor Girl style. Made this little gap in the mouth, little thing. Everything else, a lot of shadows and 2-point lights. But the rest of the design was the same, so it still had these weird legs that were going on here. And eventually, like halfway through, I realized that they don't have the same legs as it did at the end. Here's another one. This is much more cleaned up one. We got blush now, a little shadow on the nose. Much more cleaned up here. And looks like the legs are still the same. So this is like a... That was the 1.0, this is 2.0. Well, that's cool. Let's see. I keep poking at that one. I'm just going through this. Okay, this is my version 3 derpy. A little bit change. Looks like I changed the... Yeah, there you go. It says it was the version 2 and then version 3. As you can see, I changed the color. It tied a little different. I changed the shirt. So now it has buttons. It looks more like a sweater instead of like a weird shirt dress thing. The skirt has a bit more detail. Make it more frilly instead of whatever this basic shape pier flat thing is. The legs are redesigned to be more to look like legs. Shoes are redesigned to be normal human-sized feet shoes. So definitely was a big challenge to keep redesigning it and cleaning it up and making it more actually look like a human instead of whatever Crust Girls monsters were. Yeah. Then once I had that base, I was able to go in and then add the different costumes much later. Hey, Farrell. Alright, how you doing? Going through this. Let's see. So if you don't know, there's a lot of Japanese references and stuff in here. So this is the either katakana, kanji, or something of it basically just means post. So it's the Postal Service logo, which is just, you know, the letter for poster. So then I got her in there. A little cute little MILF mail carrier costume. How am I? Oh, I'm doing great. I just got really nervous that there's a lot of noise going around here, so that you won't be able to hear me too much. There. Payton. Yeah. Gotta hydrate. It's good for your soul. This is what I called her. I don't know why that keeps happening. This is why I wanted to delay it so I can figure out how to make it so that those boxes won't appear all the time, but couldn't figure it out, so yeah. I called her Super Moe version. This is when she goes into space, so it was really fun to design it and figure out how to get all the hair to look good and design everything to make it look like maybe she designed it herself or designed it, you know, how to make her look cool. I think I got, that's about it for the most part. Just a front view of that, which mostly just taking the 3/4 assets and just widening them, a lot of them, and then just having to redraw half of it, really. Payton? No, I don't. Let's see, got the front view, which is pretty much the same, but it's a little bit different hairstyle, I guess, and the arms are different. Well, I had to draw the feet. That was really fun. Having to figure out how to rotate the feet in space, like how would her shoes rotate around. Never finished this, so this is like a weird monster amalgamation of the different parts. Like, it's still using some symbols. Like, I didn't touch it, really. They got just dragged in. This is like the original. You can see like how this outline is like this dark gray, and then you can see like how the, oh my, everything's freaking out. This is the back hair from another part. Another view used this symbol. So with Flash, this program, you can draw anything and put it inside of a container. and you can duplicate that container anywhere you want. So that's what happened here, is that because in another view I used the same art, the containers match because they're the same name, so it just kept it here. So that's why some of these are anime style and some of them are the Across the Girls original style. So that's that. This was fun. Wish I could have done a little bit more with her in the actual video. I think one of you pointed out that there had to be a little chibi section in most intros, so I needed to draw a very chibi, simplified, smaller form. Is that a good way to describe it? Of Derpy. So she's very simple and then very small kind of style. So, and then I had it with the, I drew her before I redesigned Derpy later on, where I only had like version 2 or 1 when I draw her. So, I had to go back and then add these little details that I added in version 3, where I had the collar was blue and I changed it white, and then the dress had a line on it, so I just added that. And I don't know, did I add the blink in the actual animation? Yeah, I did. Okay. So I added just like a 2-frame blink of her eyes on there too. But yeah, this was really fun to draw. It was more inspired by Pop Team Epic with their little W mouths. I'm reading your comments. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, you draw ponies too. Oh, that's cool, Meg. And Payson. She would run? That's pretty cool. Yeah, I usually just cheat my stuff and just have her just fly across, because that's easier to animate instead of having her walk across and run. Which we'll have to get to soon in this. Okay, these are backgrounds, so that's a bit further ahead. I wish you could animate. I think I described in another stream how easy it is to get a hold of animation softwares and stuff, like flipbooks or stop motion kind of stuff. So I would go for that first before you put down like $30 a month to get one Adobe product or something. Let's see, before I get too ahead of myself. But how are y'all guys doing? I know it's been a while, so I haven't want to catch up with you guys. I know I've been good. I've just been super stressed to get this out of the way. Good. Yeah, I wanted to, that's good. Good. I wanted to get this done, out of the way before spring, so I could have another, I only had one video for winter, so I wanted to have a, at least 2, so before spring came. And I thought daylight savings was the start of spring, so that's why I hurried up. So I would have, had another week to work on this. So, oh well, I did get it in a, finished state where everything's done, but definitely not super polished as it could be, as we'll probably go over. Yeah. Do I like humans or pony derpy? I know, like, drawing and animating, I'm more, accustomed to drawing her as a pony. Much more easier. Just had way more practice with it, that I know the pony anatomy, pretty easy, that I can just, whip it out if I wanted, like, whoa, it's the horse. And she's saying, hello. This is the worst. Gosh. But yeah, because I just haven't had that enough time really to, the same amount of time to learn about ponies versus horses to know how to exactly, like, how would you start drawing? I'm having more second doubts about humans, because they're, we all probably know what a human looks like. So it's like, there's so many different ways to caricature humans. Like, there's like one or two ways to draw ponies, and it's like, every cartoon has a different way of drawing a human, and it's like, makes it much trickier to figure out, like, is this the right way to do it? Like, is there a right way to draw a nose? Like, you always watch those, how to draw things, and it's like, is that how you draw it? So I just haven't really knuckled down to really learn anatomy. Like, that's probably where I'm gonna stop, because I don't know how to draw next to torsos. That's probably not the best example there. It's because it's a bit tricky there, drawing at that angle. But yeah, just drawing, just because I'm more accustomed to, I spent like 3 or 4 years drawing ponies, and only, sometimes, like once in a, almost like blue moon, every like 3 or 4 years now, I'm doing human stuff. So, guess I've just been scared to do humans, because I know how really complex they can, be, and I've certainly learned, just with having the more technical skills of how to animate, a little better, just get more, as you learn, you also learn more tricks to make things easier. So it's like, I have to start from the beginning with humans, and then hopefully you learn some tricks by doing that. So it's much more of a struggle in that sense. Yeah. Okay. What's your opinion when Derby was going to be deleted from the show? I mean, it didn't really seem like she ever was going to be deleted. If it was, I mean, it wouldn't be too much. I mean, back then, what it would have been, like 2012 or 2013, I probably wouldn't have been doing too many of my videos by then. I've only maybe done maybe 1 year by then. So yeah, I probably would have switched to Lyra to make videos with her instead. I don't know, but I'm glad that they sorted it out. Yeah. River Season 8. Yeah, I made that little, I don't know why this line is there. Yep. Yep. There's a little line is here. I made that, what did I do? I made that animated to the animatic. That was like in the, how long ago was that I made the animatic to that? Got pretty popular. The Hascon MLP Paper Pony style in September. Wow, yeah. So someone obviously made a little handycam shot the preview for season 8. Probably like one of the episodes. It was like a 2-minute preview thing, and then I took a screenshot of every storyboard frame and then animated on top of that. So that was a whole different kind of journey than what this is. So so I think it's about time to get started on this then. Yep. Let's start with the storyboard to see how far we got with the storyboard. Yeah, so if you haven't seen the actual video yet, again, this is probably your last chance to get not spoiled, I guess. Yeah, I don't know why this line is still here though. Yep. Anyway, I got a lot more scenes that we can go through later too. But let's just see what the storyboards were like. I can also talk a little bit about the music. It was very important to timing this out Ah! There's literally no button presses that I did except just touch the screen, which that doesn't do it, and it's almost just weird why it does that. Just so we can have some comparison, I guess, between these storyboards. I changed some of these storyboards to match up. Like I think I added this shot post making all the storyboards. It's just because I wanted to add a little bit more than just having her kind of maybe she would have woke up here, but then I extended it to have her lift her head up here. That's just another choice. I added some more storyboards to here. I thought her shoelace would be undone here. She's locking her door and then walking out to get ready for the day, and then I have her trip, and then she starts running. And she runs, and then sky, and then title, which I didn't really have a title yet because the title is usually the last thing I do to make sure that the, it's the most, has to be the most, encompassing and most interesting thing to the video. Like if I change like some story point in it, and if I had like set it to it's a derpy Texas adventure, and if I release it like this, then it'd be like, what? That's that was the intent of the game, but it wasn't accurate. So gotta make it as accurate as possible, most interesting, to get you to watch it. Hopefully. Running through the wall. What was I saying? She's running through the hall. Can't click here. I'll use my mouse. Yeah, I thought the when we get to color, I'll explain the changes. But just wanted the more dynamic shot than what we had. Like most of these were far away or 3/4. So I wanted the front view to switch it up a little. How to become a pro host animator. That sounds familiar. I might have seen it. Is that when they all just freak out? Let me just double check. I'm gonna take a little detour. Make sure. Yep. I think you spelled it wrong a little bit. It's Animate. Ah. I think I'm thinking of a different one. That was way funnier. Not that this one's bad, but this one's... Yeah. That's pretty good. Nice. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for not showing the link. I think I banned links? I don't know. Yep. Am I lagging a little bit because I opened that? Ah, man, I'm sorry. That's no good. If it switched back to 240, which happened to me, just click back on the gear to switch it back to 1080. Yep. Ooh, that's different. Never seen that. Little menu there. Here is the teacher. Here, and then here's Derpy in the classroom. Here's Derpy again. These are very basic sketches that they don't even have hair sometimes because I wanted to. I feel storyboards are more, powerful when they, have the best poses or best timed out and best emotions. So they don't need to be, the best pictures. Essentially, it's like they rough it out and you can sort of tell what they are. Let's see. I had my birthday somewhere else. 95, so 22, I think. And they'll have it in August. Yeah, that made it sound. Are we all good? Am I lagging still? Looks like I'm fine. With my video dying. Yeah. Oh, this is just a joke that in the Pokemon anime and the dub, Brock was eating in one episode like origami, which is like a rice ball, and then I cut my hair like last week. So I got a big head, big forehead now. But in Pokemon Anime, Brock was eating Origami, which is like a rice ball, and then in the American dub, they changed it to say, "I sure do like jelly donuts." So I thought I would have Derpy eating a donut instead. And then this is all our friends watching her. They're all happy. Wanted them to all be friends. Like, there's no... I didn't want there to be, like, bullies or anything in the show. Just to have fun. And the conflicts... I don't know what the conflict is. It's just the monsters at the end. These are my little arrows to say, like, he's gonna zip over that way. I hope you got your box. This is just another trope for me. With anime to have the character sitting on a hill, you know, a grassy hill, and just laying out. Like they're just resting. This was an old design, I guess, and then I updated it later. But this is who I call Gruff, who is the postmaster. He's Derpy's boss for mail, for the post service. These are little. Don't know how to really describe it, but these little short shots that show different party parts, like a little. We'll get to the transformation sequence too. I was gonna have credits here, and I was gonna have them in Japanese, but then it was getting late, and I never really figured out how to properly translate. Didn't really look up how to properly translate all those credits that I wanted to have. Like it'll just be like me as director and animator, and some of you might as a script consultants or my patrons and stuff. So I would have added stuff like that and maybe some jokes like "Hi Mom" or something. But yeah. So it just turned into what you see now. So there was definitely a lot of ideas that could have been, but just because the amount of scale of a lot of this was just so big. Like every shot needed like its own background, its own character, own whole original animation. It was just yeah, getting too much. Here's a original design for the monster. She was on the ground. She would be on a cloud. Huh. Yeah, I wanted to keep it a little bit more realistic than that. Yeah. Let's see. I mean, well, I guess I have her doing a dance to summon a bubble. Oh, I went back a bit. Summon a bubble here, and at the timing of the music, I wanted to emphasize. So when you hear the little bling, stuff will happen. And this is like more like a maybe a bit of a, you know, a trope, but maybe like our like food wars where they eat the food and they get really excited. I added this shot just because the next shot was taking a long time. Like it was gonna be like a 5-second shot of nothing, so I added this like 2-second shot here just to get her, you know, to have some conclusion, because it was just gonna end here, and then it was just gonna have this for like 5 seconds, and then she hits the ground. So I wanted to later in, like almost when I was almost like done animating, like the second to last day that I was animating, I added this shot, just to add some conclusion and to break it up. So she is, you know, waving to the alien ship as it goes into space. And then we got that. Yep. And then she wakes up after like a Dragon Ball kind of fall impact thing. A little pose and credits. And the little ting. And there we go, that's for the storyboard. And then that was the easy part. Then we gotta go to color when you gotta, you know, do the rest of it and all the other bits of work that goes into it. But how are you all doing? Let's see. Did I make a story of how she got a key mark? I have a feeling I know what you're talking about. Who was it? Horn? The Derpy's toy? Derpy toy? What was it? I bet you could tell me. But you can check that, and I did not make it. If, you know, it's on my channel, it's probably my work. Yeah, so I didn't. If that's what you're talking about, I didn't. I don't think I've explained any of that. Or maybe you're thinking about Minty Road, which obviously I didn't work on that either. Yeah, I never did that. Guess I never really myself found my own headcanon and how that happened. So, yeah. Yeah, I want to know what you were thinking of. So get rid of the storyboard now. So, let's see. There was a lot of stuff when we talked about how then I made all these all these derpies here to draw them, design them, make sure that they all, you know, work. They're all in parts for every blue square. It's its own container and artwork that can be moved around. And then each side of each box here, there could be more boxes. And then inside of these could be more boxes. So even inside the mouth, there might be, you can see how many frames here of different mouths opening. And then outside I can, you know, change it. You know, it'll flip to it. So stuff like that. So I designed that. Then I had to make these backgrounds. Most of these, let's see. Oh, there's Pop Epic. Yeah, I'll probably go do these slower. Yeah, when we get there, I'll explain those. So the backgrounds were fun too. Designing those. Let's get rid of the vignette. Here's a little sunlight spoke there. So a little pop up. So this is my first time making backgrounds for my channel, at least in Illustrator. So I use Adobe Illustrator to get these kind of cool brush strokes, which I gotta thank Think Design, I think. Made this cool, like kind of like a pastel kind of chalk, kind of flowy, kind of cloudy kind of texture, which I really like. So you can kind of see it here, maybe. It's this kind of dark blue, kind of cloudy thing that's set to a low opacity and blurred it. So that made those clouds, and I just use it as a type of texture. And especially in the grass, I really liked how I got that texture on this grass. I think it was a different type of grass though, but I added this kind of real, you know, compared to this house here, this grass has more, like you can feel it more. My human, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I think I am. Like this, everyone's supposed to own their talent. These young parents are proposed to use bubble to shoot. To cheer up butterflies. That sounds cool. Yeah, I remember in the derpy test I made, I just had her just blow bubbles because she was just bored in class. Like she finished her test early, and was trying to distract herself and entertain herself. So she used like bubbles and stacked the paper to make a card tower type of thing. Yeah. Yeah, so this is interesting too. Let's see. Where did I put it? What's in here? Got so many other things in here. That's a demo for this. Here's a running. I forgot where everything. I have like 3 files for everything. So I forgot where everything I put. I'm just testing to see where everything I put was. I don't remember. Was it here? Was it here? Oh, it's an entitled 2, huh? Of course. I had to go through here. That's the house. See how there's no sky here? Because I didn't need it, because I already imported it before. And if I import it again, it'll give me an error saying you already have that. This is from Pop2Dynamic, so I could get that kind of house style. Here's my original vision. Here's my original vision for the house. For the storyboard, I just made a. I think in the. Yeah, when we were doing the storyboard, I wanted to do, you know, you guys were like, what does the house look like in color? And I was like, okay, how about this? So that happened, and then here's the final, where I copied these trees, which you can with Flash. You can just copy, you know, any art asset into another project. So these trees are actually made from the Pokemon Polka, the Weird Al one, which I did. Mailboxes from older video. Yeah, so a lot of my videos now are just amalgamations of, you know, I have like a library of a whole bunch of stuff I made, so I could just, you know, copy and paste them as I need. Like I need a tree that looks realistic. It's like, okay, here you go. I need a mailbox. It's like, I don't need to draw it again if I've already got a good one. Okay, so Sonic's gonna come back in. Cool. Yeah, so yeah, so just drawing the assets, you know, takes a long time. As you might imagine, like the house, it's probably gonna take a while. These mountains, I didn't have to make the whole, you know, make the whole symbol, like you can see the whole thing of it if I'm just gonna cover up a lot of it. But if I wanted some parallax or something, I would need to have it. Trees are just copy pasted, and then just regular stuff. Yeah. Here's the bedroom. So let's go back and see if I can find that. I'll just have to go through this all over again. There it is. Let's see. So I mean, you know, as you go, and you find references and you just go through it. Yeah, like this is probably from the show somewhere, but I just added a bed to make it her bedroom. Let's see. And there's Pikachu there, and just a little rolly heels thing and a muffin. And this is directly copied from here, which is gonna be an asset for my movie. So I was just like, hey, that's pretty, you know, if it's high quality, then why not just go ahead and copy it over. And then use the same palette, which is the same colors for the bed. And then this is green, like it was like a green screen kind of thing. But because I already had, again, the sky already in there, I didn't want to copy it into, because I already had it in this file. I had the sky art. I didn't want to then drag it into here just to have it say it's already in this one. You know what I mean? So just put it in a screen, and you know, will be very bright and like, oh, what's wrong with that? And then I would say like, okay, it needs the sky. Okay, and just plug it in once it's already copied into the other file. Yeah. And here's a little secret face here. I don't tell anyone that I had a little like lion kind of face here. Yeah. So I'm telling you all the Easter eggs and stuff, so you gotta watch this to get all my references as I go. Yeah. Hola. Sorry I missed it for a little bit. Ideology, cool. Nice to see you. There's some sunbeams in there. And I believe if we go inside, that's inside the black, the little black tent. Can I click it? Oh, it's a tween. Yeah, we can see that I got two versions. One with her there, and it's none of her in the second shot. But I believe, yeah, Derpy's just, I only added, you know, you only need to draw what you can see. So if I don't need, you know, if I don't need her body, then I can just delete it. Especially if it's gonna overlap the other bits. So she's just a neck here. A little zoom in. And this was fun. This was like the first animation I think I did for the video that I animated. So she just gets up, but we can see the whole thing if we want. Full zoom. And that's as much as you need for that to get some nightmares. So I just need her head there. Then, because this black box here is the canvas, so it's the only thing you need to do. The only thing you need to worry about is whatever's in the box, you gotta make sure it looks good. Everything outside doesn't matter. So I got rid of her bottom arms, her whole bottom half, and then just, you know, made sure that all these little black circles here around every other frame, and that makes it just about the right amount of choppiness that you want for animation. Putting everything on every other frame at 24 frames a second makes it like 12 frames a second then, right? No. If it's, anyway, I'm adding, if it's 24 frames a second, I'm adding the keyframe every other frame. Yeah. Yeah. Let's move on. Derpy should be here. There she is. That was fun having her twist around. I'm just gonna geek about it like everything I did. Yeah, I needed some fast maps there. Just had like a little bounce there. Yeah. A lot of these are just trying to use as much tricks as I knew as a, you know, animating the ponies. This is your the 2-frame little secret there. Is like she's noticed she's gonna fall, and then she falls. Then I needed a lot of help to figure out how does a bipedal stand up, and then she needs to be ready to then run. So she transitions from this animated version. Oh, here's a little not much of a smear frame, but more like a little like accentuated that, and then a little shock. These are like visual onomatopoeias. I don't know how to describe it. Yep. And then when she gets up, she then turns into this other symbol, which is just the running animation. So I pre-made this run cycle, and then I just needed to figure out how to get her to stand up and then get into my already made run cycle and then have her run off. So that's that, and then we move up. And then I know some of you are a bit mad about this, is that it's in Japanese. Whoa, crazy. But then I just had the title in English in the title, and it's the title of the normal thing, so I'm gonna look bad if I don't remember how I'm supposed to read this. Nichiju say kasu or something. Yeah, it just means like every day and then life. So it's her daily life, and this is like her no, it's the possession, so it's Derpy, her daily life. So I think that's what it means. I'm hoping I spent like a whole hour trying to make sure that this works. So If anyone know, let me know, and maybe when I make a new episode to this, I'll like episode 1, because this is just the intro. I'll fix it. Yeah. Well, this is really fun. Yeah, it means ordinary life. Okay, cool. So we can break this down. This bit is I think it's the same running, cycle. So when it gets to the end, I just set it to it's easier loop. So it's just looping through the cycle. So when it gets to the end, it'll just go back to the beginning of it. Like that. And then we can break this down. Give her $8. Here's the sky, it doesn't move. And then we got this far out mountain and city. And I think in the storyboard I had this little pagoda. So I was like, okay, I just gotta add that into these. Yeah, I really figured out the I go from the storyboard and just, make it look better. And color just naturally helps with that. So that's that. Then we got this far street here. Nishiju, yeah. I actually got the manga, the first volume after I started working on this. I was like, oh look, that's a good title, for what I'm doing. Yeah. Let me just break for a bit. So this is broken down into a lot of little bits too. These are just basic silhouettes of I just traced Derpy and then just added these little the hair and this little hair ribbon, which she'll come in up later too, and I think I just copied one of them somewhere else. Yeah, I just copied these and just added an arm, I guess, here. So yeah, they're not defined, but here's the trees again. They're copied over. I think, where is it? Do I have it? Is it not one of these? Okay. Where is it? I don't know. Sorry. I was looking for, cause I had like a palette, like I found screenshots from another Aggressive Girls, like I think it was the DJ Pony short. So I took I just drew these really simple boxes and then added that palette to make sure it still fits within Across the Girls, but then, skew it a little bit. Here's a road. I should have defined this a little bit more, and these are my pretty much shook and scratched to get to show that it was moving, to make sure I knew how fast it was moving. But yeah, I didn't need to just look like that, so. And then these are just tweened over, so I was able to figure out the position, at the end, and then just kind of slide things over from here. I just had to make sure that the closest thing moved more than the mountain bit in the back. So Adobe Animate now has a pseudo 3D kind of canvas thing where you can set things to a specific depth, and then it can use a camera to then just move the camera around, like as a virtual camera, and then it'll respect the depth of each layer. So when you move the camera, you'll get the right parallax. Instead of just what I'm doing of manually figuring out. That's not supposed to happen. Instead of manually figuring out the close things moves faster than the far thing. So, and then I was just playing around to make sure that it felt right. Because it doesn't make sense to have her, on a treadmill kind of thing. Wanted her to have enough movement though. This was I reused his background layer, his background in later shot, so I didn't really feel of just and you can see most of it there, but it's definitely not the whole thing. So You don't really need to duplicate it to make it, you know, smaller in this case. So, and I knew that it'd only be like a torso up shot, so I didn't need her legs in here. I just got a weird arm running thing from took a couple of screenshots from my Crusher Girls, and then just figured out the poses for each a little bit for the running, which was pretty simple. Did just add in the little hair bob too. This was, yeah. If I redid this again, or if I do another one, I will. I'm indecisive of whether to have the other classmates be defined, like having them be, you know, real characters or not. Not sure about the perspective of the teacher either, and it's just it's a short shot, so. And your main focus is between the teacher and then sliding into Derpy. But I guess I could have then also made him blur out a little bit, like it's a depth of field kind of thing. Yeah. So these most of about half of these are copy pasted, but definitely the chairs are. And the guy just took Derpy around, like I would put her in a place, and then and then just drew the hair on top. Yeah. Yeah, I understand. I don't know. With the walking, you're saying on twos. In my defense, having everything on twos would then, you know, make everything feel the same solidity. Like if I, you know, had something, if it's running at like 60 FPS, it'll look weird to then switch to like 4 frames a second. So it's hard to know between that too. Yeah, I definitely rush at the end. Like most of the shots are animated, like only in a couple days. So I just wanted to finish it before daylight savings of all things. So yeah. Definitely, you know. Yeah, I agree that I'm not totally 100% satisfied with this yet, but for what it is, and if we compare this back to Derpy Test, I think this is a much better improvement. Don't think she has legs again here. It's not really a memory thing, it's just more of a, it gets too long, and I don't know. It was interesting. Definitely wanted to do, you know, more stuff here, and I made this rainbow background in a later shot, and I was just rushing to get this done, and then I was like, I wanted bubbles in it, and it just seemed fine, so I definitely would have changed this too, but I think having it be, like, I wanted this to, I don't know, I couldn't figure out the background for this shot. Like, it was just this, and I was like, I really said like a gradient background, so I guess I worked on that, so, and definitely gradient, so, yeah. And I definitely wanted some more animation referred, because she just, you know, just blinks right there, and then blink. No Cintiq, Bonbon. Is that what we did? I thought it was Carrot Top. Let me double check. But you're right too, that there was definitely a lot of characters. Just because I spent so much time to make sure Derpy was perfect, I definitely didn't spend the time to get anyone else in. Do you see it? Cintiq, Carrot Top. Yeah. Yeah, it was Carrot Top. Okay. Anyway, like I think yeah, only in this shot that I had Ren or Len, one of them. added her in, like literally the last night that I was working on this. Like I published this, at 5:30 a.m. So, it tells you that I I worked on this for, off and on for 3 months, but when I wanted to get it done, I was like, oh no. Like most of the bulk of the work was actually done in only a week, like the actual animating. Just because I wanted to make sure Derpy was 100% perfect and make sure I knew how to, if I wanted to draw new assets, like new characters, I wanted to make sure that it was perfect. So I spent a lot of time, if I can quickly derail, I can do it here. Or maybe I could open this. I made this somewhere else. Can't see it. Hang on a sec. Where did I put it? Disco. This one. There you go. So I spent like a whole time like figuring out the right brush to use. So this is using what's that? That's my paintbrush. So I think I took just a regular screenshot and then trace over to see the how exactly, like I spent like about an hour figuring out how to draw it and make sure to see like how it reacts. With it, and here's Y plus. I forgot what that is. Let me see. I don't remember. But here's a different type of brush to see. Here's just a brush, which is more like a free-flowing brush. So I can see, would this work for outlines? Is this fast to draw? Is this easy to draw? Does it look good? And here's pressure sensitivity on and off. So this was just really quick sketching to see. Obviously it's not perfectly drawn, but it's definitely, this one looks the best, sort of, but it definitely wasn't smooth enough that I wanted. So yeah, one is better, yes. So I eventually went with Y here. That's just a shortcut to get to paintbrush. So, and paintbrush adds like that many dots, but if I use the brush, I get a dot on each end of it. So that adds way more than this. So this obviously will in vector look better, but I wanted to make sure that does it actually look better, and actually compare it. And then I got this cool animation of her slowly morphing, and I call it a Disco Twilight brush practice. Yeah. So I definitely spent a long time trying to figure it out. I closed everything. Whoops, though. Hope I'm still online. I just closed my Chrome browser. Yeah, it's cool something with sharp edges and stuff, yeah. Obviously each one of them has its own merits. Like this one was more blocky. Like this is just a more of a oh man. Oh, I had to refresh it now. It's just going through the whole chat again. Oh man, it's gonna take a while to get back to you guys. I got it over here so I can see. I should upload that. Okay. Yeah, I can upload this to DeviantArt. If with no context, that'd be cool too. Yeah. So this definitely was a lot more learning practice to me. Just because with humans, and then the new art style, the new animation style, maybe, sort of, that I wanted to approach. So it definitely was. I felt like I was, just running into a, like I've already, if I was a survivalist, in a river, if I would, you start underwater, and then you slowly figure out how to paddle, and then you can swim. Now I've just made a boat, and, I'm just riding on the lake now. So, But if I, start doing this, then I definitely feel like I'm underwater again. So, and that made sense. I just made that up right now. Yeah, so this is very, very Ren-like. Yeah, just Ren eats, and usually it's like 2 frames of her mouth chewing. Where is it? Yep. Yeah, made a sound that I'm losing video quality. Probably because I refreshed it. Just went through my whole chat log again. Yeah, it just only has like for that little bit, and then nothing else moves. But I also want it to be more like a, like a still frame that then has a little bit of parallax, like maybe like one of those documentaries, like history documentaries, where they have it like where they cut out a figure, and then it slides over in the background stays or something. So that kind of aesthetic. And here's our jelly donut, which kind of looks almost foreign instead of a donut that I wanted. I think I just looked up jelly donut and copied it as best I could. Like I made it from scratch, but yeah, her hand, that blue square is just to tell me how big her hand should be. And these really thin chopsticks. And then this weird donut type thing here. And here's all her hands. So I can see like I had to go over and trace the hands I had before. This is the Crush Girl style. And because I drew it in a certain way. Here, can I click it? Nope, wrong. Okay. Because I drew it like this with these anchor points here, to do it in the style I wanted, I had to go over it with, looks like, let me see, is this brush tool or Y? Paintbrush? Anyway, yeah. And then I had to make sure that the shadows and highlights all matched up, and it was just a mess. Lining all those up. The other hand, a little bit weird, and then I just made this box that might not be at perfect perspective. Yeah. Overall, I think it's, I know I keep like, each shot I'm like, well, it could be better, but definitely, yeah, definitely didn't spend, I spent enough time to get something out of it, but I definitely learned a lot, then keep keep being mean to myself that, oh, it should be better. It's like, I know. I didn't know. Like, I didn't spend enough time on the animation. Because what I only had was just this, so it's like, yeah, it just has to look like this, and it's like, okay, does it look like it? Yep, cool, okay, move on. Because I knew I had like, 50 more shots and like, maybe not that many, but like, 20 more backgrounds that, needed to be this big with this many details. And it's like, okay, I know, and I know that I saved like the space bit for like last, because I knew it was going to be really big too, so like I kept delaying it because I knew it's going to be big, so I kept freaking out. So here's a secret muffin in her desk. And then, yeah. Then I had to redesign the teacher too, so I had to spend a whole, afternoon taking the original design, and then in a newer Crush Girls, they redesigned it, so I had the old version in a derpy test with with his mouth shape. So I had to completely redo his whole face with the new Crush style, and then I had to change that into Animate style. So it was a lot, more work than it should have been. If I just drew it flatly like this instead of trying to layers on top of layers. Yeah. Okay, corners. Oh, I cut corners all the time with my animations if we go back to other ones. I mean, you know, in this one she doesn't, yeah, she doesn't have legs. This guy does, because I didn't care to get rid of them. This was intentional to have her have a little face like it's a far distance kind of shot, so I just needed to kind of replicate it like another anime where they have very little detail in their face when it's far away, like as if they drew it from far away. I just add little dots, so I had to have a whole new version and then get rid of her face and add those little diddle lights. So this is Illustrator background, where I just, you know, spam the texture brush all over the place. Yeah, I mean, I like the grass and maybe the water looks a bit cloudy instead of watery. Definitely the grass looks okay for me. And this cobblestone, I guess, definitely wasn't as a, it's hard when the, you know, you're trying to make it look like a reference and the reference doesn't, you know, isn't as clean or anything you want. It's like, I don't know what to do now. Like, you want to draw like a vacuum cleaner, but all you have is clip art. It's like, how do I turn that into, you know, put it in, you know, a Mona Lisa Louvre kind of thing, you know, that kind of version to make it the best thing ever when you don't really know what it's supposed to look like. So it's essentially the same character model that is then duplicated and then for this one just got rid of her face and then made this one first, obviously. Let's add a little hair wiggle. Wanted to add some little wind lines maybe blowing across her. Yeah. Things I sure fun leaving things out and then going good enough next frame is not dying. That's true. Like even here it's like, well, it should have been this, but then it turns into this and it's like, it's alright. It does its, yeah, I'm just doing it to, it does its job, move on kind of thing. Yeah. Not like it's, you know, I think I did with this one. Do I have a full thing? Maybe. No, that's it. Okay. Inside? Nope. Yeah, I know with this one I was like, I wasn't too happy with it. This is like one of those rare things where it's like, I don't like it, I'll go back kind of thing. Where I didn't like him too much. Looks like that's weird. I can't figure out what's going on. But I did then go back and clean it up, because it looked like his, originally his whatever you called his eyeball thing is, what's this? He had a bigger mouth and then this outline around his eyeball was like huge. It was like originally like, you know, like about this this outline kind of style thing. Yeah, then you can see like how it changes. So I went ahead and then retraced this with the thinner outline. So that's one of the few instances where I did go back in and said, yeah, that doesn't look good. And it was going to be a still frame too, so definitely needs to look good with that one. But yeah, other cases I was like, he doesn't need to move in this shot, so I was like, he doesn't need to move at all. And then Derpy just needs to act. You don't want to acting, so I was like, okay, good. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're really getting on me. Okay, thanks. I mean, I've already, I don't know. I didn't want to spend a year on this. I mean, I could have. It definitely felt like I've already spent like a whole year on it. But I've only spent like 3 months, you know. And only then, like the last week I, you know, bunkered down and like said, I'm gonna animate it all. in that last week. And the other 2 weeks were months were drawing and then educating myself. And then the last week was like, I'm gonna get it done. So it definitely wasn't different kind of style there. Yeah, this is, I mean, ironically, this one's more of a derpy test than the derpy test one. But I think it's much more dynamic than the original derpy test. So I think using this as a more of a base, I can, if I do remake, I don't know if I will, if I remake a derpy test, I don't know, with this style, or just, you know, reanimating bits, or just making it more what I've learned so far kind of stuff. A lot to see. So Reddit looks bad. Might be the frame rate of the live stream, but I could do frame to frame here for you. Yep. Yeah. Again, I was probably I copied too many things. Yeah. Oh man. Sorry, you're the only one watching this now. You're you're just berating me. It's fine though, but man. You gotta let me know about my self-esteem, man. Jeez. Yeah. I mean, I already agreed that I hate this. Pretty much, yeah. It's not the... It's weird, because it's like... I don't... It's hard to know if this is better or not than anything else I've done. Like, I know the art, I feel like is pretty good. I like that. But it just feels like everything... definitely doesn't feel right. Like, I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, if I do it again, I'll probably obviously spend probably more time, you know, on the animation instead. But even then, I don't feel it'll feel any different than what I have here. Because I don't think I've learned much else in this time of doing it. Does it feel fluid? It's weird because I'm trying to emulate anime, which is notorious for having low frame rates. So I was trying to, that was my entry point of like, well, of course, you know, they only animate, you know, less than, you know, maybe like 8 frames or 12. It's hard to say. Like, I didn't overanalyze real anime to know just how much choppiness and low frame rate to get away with. So it is a very weird blend of how choppy can I get away with this, you know, while still feeling, you know, like, does this even feel good? It's like, I don't know. Oh, here's the actual animation inside her. And then, yeah, if you didn't notice, I add a lot of little stuff. Like, this is, I wanted to connect and say like this, the other guy in the last shot was like a live and trick maybe thing, but then, you know, then say like immediately like that she has his watch now, which comes out of nowhere too, and then goes into this transformation sequence. So I thought that'd be, in the script it was funny, but now just here it's like only like a couple frames here. So, and then I also went back because I noticed that her gloves were, she was wearing gloves, like she wasn't here. So it's like only like a half second later she wasn't wearing gloves. So had to make, I think I used like the original design, original model, and then I was like, I had to make a whole new version. So I just added another one, another entry here to the library. which is already at 400 things. So anyway, definitely. I mean, I did sleep pretty well after I finished this at 6 a.m. But I definitely has all the right ideas, but it's hard to know if it's what works good here. You know, just kind of with the flow, instead of said I like this shot, I'm gonna study and then do everything right in the shots. More like, did I follow the storyboard? Yep. Okay, move on. Thanks. Yeah, the designs and everything, yeah. It was really fun. Like, I felt much more passionate creating, creating and designing all the art. Then I just rushed the animation. Because of that, it could be low budget kind of animation. And then just kind of, now it just looks like it's bad. So it's like, I wanted it to look low quality, but then everyone thinks you did it low quality. And then it's that weird conflict there. So, like, I didn't want this to be, I didn't come into this thinking I wanted to do full animation to this. So, but then y'all think it should be, so I just focus on so I just came in like thinking like, oh, I just need to get everything to look good, and then the animation just kind of comes second. So yeah, definitely spent a while getting adding all these hair bits to frame by frame. This is probably what I should have been doing for like the whole animation, is this type of, even if it loops, it's still, I went frame by frame to get her hair to move like this. I just didn't feel confident as an animator to make sure I stayed on model the whole time. Like, I knew I didn't want to draw her face, like this exactly frame by frame. So all I did was have her, just be a puppet the whole time, and then just moving things around frame by frame, using the same kind of wobbliness that I have, where this is a bit more extremes, like boop, boop, and then she settles. So, it takes ever to make great quality look good. Yeah. Anyway, but past that, it's definitely was fun to make this. I really liked it. This was fun. I really liked this monster design. That was, because I probably could have, just stayed with this storyboard here, with this little snake guy. But yeah, I felt like it'll make more sense when he, after he eats the muffin, that then he turns into like a more chibi version. So I needed him to be bigger and more menacing in this form. So that's when I came up with this kind of dragon monster snake guy. In this big, like he's in a ship that's too small for him kind of thing. Let's see what he looks like. So here's him, a little alien monster guy. He was really fun. And he's all little bits too. You can see the blue squares here, but he's all parts. I can move his jaw, so that was really fun to figure out how to do that. Then he blinks, and his eyebrows go down as I do that. And when he moves, his hair follows through. I think I did in the other shots. Here's a bubble. Let's see. There's all that. In the background, I just had it, so it was just this, where I just spammed the brush again and added these stars later. I was like, it doesn't look quite as, that doesn't look quite as right, as can't really tell it's space, so I added some colored stars and then some planets that I blurred out. So they're just basically just shapes with little dark circles and brush strokes on it, like a little Saturn there, and blurred them out. And then there you go. It could have been better. I don't know. I think it's my mentality to think like that's good. Maybe just because seeing, I do these in parts that it's like I do the storyboards, and it's like that looks good. And then when it gets to the animation, it's like I don't know how to exactly, in this case, exactly figure out how to. Like, to me, it seemed fine then, but then, if I can carefully figure out the, what exactly could have been, I don't know what I'm saying. I just got lost in thought by Doogie Dog Dog Doodle. Yeah, even here, I think I had the outline thicker before, and then I had to go back and make it thinner to make sure everything, because I make things at different times, the outlines thickness are different, so could have changed that to be a little bit thinner to match this monster here. Little effect to get a little sparkle there. It's there, and then it just floats. Then he thinks about it and then eats it. And then there's like this frame here where it doesn't enter his face, and then he just has it there. So because I had the muffin on an outside layer, and then there was no way to have it go in between two layers, so not sure where that is, Star. I think I based on another anime. Like one of those, probably like monster animes or something. Not like a Godzilla kind of thing, but more of a, I don't know. Then we used the same background again. But this time make it vertical. Isn't that better? And then he just tweens up instead of having actual animation. He's just there, and then just have the background do the animation for him. What were you saying? Star versus? Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really too interested in that show to watch any of it. I think I watched like the first episode, which was kind of like Steven Universe, where like the first couple episodes were like seemed kind of kiddish and boring, and then like you have to wait like 3 seasons before it gets heavy. So I was like, I wasn't prepared to, really go through all of that. Then I again added this scene. This was like the last shot I think I animated, so I have her, hand have way more animation to it than the other bits. It's much more fluid. And you can see that how every frame is a new drawing there. And I have her hand be kind of flowing, like it has drag and it's trying to follow with its own gravity there. So yeah, I just wanted to feel like more like limited animation to have a little defense for myself here. Yeah, just kind of didn't fit too well with this whole thing, I guess. and then this shot would have extended to all the way to here. So you can imagine this shot going that long before anything happens. So that's why I added that shot. Just this shot. But then I also had to figure out how to get him out of the way and what angle. I was gonna do like a more turned around shot, but I guess I just went with the more where I just reused the same thing and just added a flame effect, which is also animated like that. And then you just blur it and add that there. Yeah. So that's that, and he's still there, and he doesn't animate at all. So that's cool. And the Derpy has her own little up and down kind of feel. And then what are these? Yeah, I was gonna have it be more at this kind of angle for the shot I'm talking about. But it didn't quite happen. I ran out of. I don't know why I'm saying I ran out of time when I'm arbitrarily choosing it for myself. I don't have anyone saying get it done by this day. So I guess it's, you know, just for me to say have at least some kind of deadline for myself. So that's what happened. And I know I did have like a I had a what was it again? I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. Looks like trash. Well, it's very clean, glossy trash there. It's very well maintained there. But I can agree if it's like the back here. I agree that there looks a bit weird. It's hard to know just, you know, how cartoony or how realistic to make things. So I tried a bunch different ways. I mean, it could have. Let's see. Do I have the original somewhere? Here's more less pointies at the bottom. If that looked better, it's hard to know. Yeah, I feel like this looks a little better than whatever happened here. Like there's a bit too many spindles there. Not sure what you mean, Duger. Duder? Like confetti? Yeah, I'm not sure what they mean. Be more specific? And then it just gets on Mauser. I think this is more like a later shot that he animated, so it looks a bit more animated. And I think I went with more of a keyframe kind of thing. What am I saying? Where I knew each pose, the basic poses, like this one, and this one. And then I figured out how to kind of ease into the poses like that. And then she moves her arm through there. She was ordered at the Dragon Blast. Oh, okay. That was way back there. Oh, I see, yeah. Yep. Yeah, so that's actually taking the back, let's see. Let's go back a bit. Yep. So I took this model, which had its own very just took its this is like a super powered up mode, so it's all weird and much more girly type and flowy, and if it's flowy in space, so yeah. Kind of based off another anime. I think I deleted it off of here though. Yeah, I don't think I have it. Oh, here it is. So I found her. Just shopping around, I guess. Not really looking for her. But I just found her, and then I decided like that's a good design, so I copied off the 3 colors there and made it look like Derpy with the different styles there. So I actually don't know who this is, so yeah, if anyone can almost see it, I could probably make it bigger, maybe. Nope. Had to drag it. Yep. Yeah, I'm trying. There we go. So I guess I don't know where I found this. I was looking somewhere else. I maybe just found it on Google Images. And I was like looking at something else. I was like, wow, that's cool. So I looked, found that out. Yeah. So that's about it. So, boosh. Yeah. We're all lollies. Yeah. So that's about it. And she just wakes up and like in her normal clothes again. Like she did it like at the end of the other videos where she like does a little arm dress. Just like she finished the thing. Then I reused the background here with the mountain bit at the beginning to transition it into the title here, and then it goes with the music where it bumps up and then it fades to black. So that's about it. I know I'll get hate either way, that it's anime or it's badly animated, and it's across the grilled, so it's like 3 layers of people hating things. So yeah, I don't too mind that it's just, I don't know if I feel like it's a throwaway kind of video, like, you know, it's like that happens, like I guess it didn't work out as well as I planned, but it definitely happened. So you can go on a portfolio that like I tried and I definitely want it was more of a starter off that was like I want to do humans more, like I haven't done humans in a while, like a couple years. So I wanted to ease myself into it, but I definitely, you know, kept making it harder for myself by making it you know, be more complicated. So anyway, I just wanted to bring it through and say, you know, before I get like just, you know, comments in the original video saying bad, I just want to explain like how big of a project this was and how much work this was. So just to show you my scope, to say that this definitely was a labor of love in a lot of ways. I thought this would be more you know, a progression than what I've been doing with the simple you know, flat pony stuff. So having humans was definitely a step up, I felt. So I don't know if I will go back to. Yeah, I don't know what the future holds for this kind of stuff, or what I'll do on my channel. I'll definitely have something, at least a couple videos for April, so look out for that. But I'll do more live streams in the meantime, working on the other projects I have. Yeah, that's a bit weird, duder. I mean, I'm sure I can, but yeah, definitely takes quite an effort to figure out how to do that. You have to do some character designs and whatnot. Anyway, I just wanted to make a quick kind of stream to show you that these things, they take a lot of time, a lot of effort, way too much effort. Yeah, anyway, I think we'll close it down after this. So if there's any final thoughts or any more questions, like, you want me to, if you want to see something specific while I got this open, then I could do that. But otherwise, yeah, I'll start closing things down. So ask me real quick. Or if you have any ways to figure out how to get this out of the way. I updated my Wacom driver, but it made it worse. So, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, this is just an intro to something. So if it's if it gets popular, you know, then I can consider making a maybe like a whole mini series or something. I don't know. That's true. See ya. I mean, I didn't do anything weird with Derpy here, did I? As that or be a real cool butt kicker, being that monster. And just having fun. Let's see. Yeah, it started. Anyone else who's here? There's actually a couple of people now. How you guys doing? Participants, let me just call you out. No, it's just us. Why does it say there's more? That's weird. Whoa, my voice. Hang on. Alright. Yeah, if there's nothing else, then I'll end it right around now. And yeah, I'll probably stream maybe this Thursday. I'll see. But I might have a heads up. I don't know. You know, probably more than the 30 minutes that I had on the Twitter. An acceptable word? I guess. Yeah, but my filter it is. That's interesting. And I guess it's not, you know, derogatory, I guess. It's just implied stuff. So, I guess it's okay. But if, yeah. Interested to know what are, you know, things you want to see, guys. Like, go inside that background and show me what you did or anything that'll end it. I think I showed most of it though, but if you want to see something again or anything like that, I'll end it soon or whenever you guys are done with this, because I'm pretty much done with this now. Excuse me. Yeah, definitely changed it from that. And then definitely had to make shadows for everything. That was another thing. I had to go back through the whole thing and add shadows to everyone. It's much more organic kind of shadow here. Anyway, it was a fun project. I definitely had fun, you know, before the last week I worked on it. Getting everything ready. To then be wildly disappointed by how much work this actually would be. And then I'd set the arbitrary deadline, and then that kind of messed everything up. So, heavily implies, that's true. Yeah, if you want I can add it to the banned list, unless you got access to that too. I don't know if you do. There's a little box that has every unacceptable word in my chat. I kept adding to it every stream. It's kind of funny. Even if it's like already like 8 lines long and stuff, it's probably has like 50 words or more. Anyway. There's the title. I was just wiping stuff out my screen. Okay. That's about it. Everyone's kind of gone now. It says it's just 4 people. But it's only 3 people here. Okay. Yeah, no one's here then. That means I can't wait for anyone to start talking then. Oh, you can't. Okay, I can do that myself then. Well, after I finish this stream, right about now. Let's see. Okay. See you guys, and I'll see you again. No worries. I'll have the next project ready to roll. We'll be way more fun. All right. See ya.